I mean, let's just quickly segue while we're talking about it, but we can go back and forth. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 got a 96. It got a 96. That's the same as Tears of the Kingdom.
Yep.
This game is knocking on the door of Game of the Year, as everybody said Tears of the Kingdom is going to win it, like, definitively.
I
This
think
game is
Baldur's
knocking
Gate
on
has
the game.
I think Baldur's Gate has a chance.
This game has
now.
a chance.
I really
It's gotten
do. I think it has a
so
chance.
much popularity, and I'm shocked. I mean, obviously, like, I played early access. I sing its praises during early access whenever I could, but this game is like tons of excitement.
I was about to say Baldur's Gate will almost certainly win like the players' vote Game of the Year, but I actually don't know about that.
I don't know.
Zelda is just really popular.
Zelda's really popular,
like,
but this game is like absolutely killing it. And I'm like, you go down the list of games this year, and it's crazy how many great games have come out. This game is knocking on the door of Game of the Year. I'm happy for it, to be honest with you. Like, this, when I was playing early access, I was like thinking of all the, like, wow, this game could be like a absolute like banger game, like one of the best games I've ever played, like super fun replayability, really, like, the characters are all pretty fun to interact with. I was like thinking the whole time in early access, like, man, this thing has some potential here. I'm excited. And I played the early access like 3 times. So I was very happy that this game got reception that it did, but I was surprised at how highly it was rated. So, I mean, yeah, Age of Wonders, of course it's going to have problems keeping players when you have Zelda come out and like a Baldur's Gate come out, even like fighting games, other games,
Diablo, Street Fighter.
Of course it's going to have a problem keeping those players.
Yeah, it's been a tough year of competition.
Exactly.
If you're releasing a big game this year, and then obviously we talked about it, but
Starfield's coming out
in like a couple of weeks. So
and that's what happens. So, oh wow,
it feels like
Red Dead Redemption.
It feels like all these games that were like in development during the COVID years got pushed. Like, it feels like so many games got pushed out to this year because of like the pandemic and stuff slowed stuff down, and just like so much crap is just coming out this year. So,
but anyway, well, I haven't played much of Baldur's Gate, so I'm not really going to talk much about it. I know you have the game now, Spoon. My initial. Oh, go ahead. As you're finishing up your.
No, I haven't played much either.
Okay,
I played like 10 to 15 hours of it, something like that.
That's a lot still, because that's way more than me.
14.2.
14 hours. That's still a lot. You're still probably a little bit through the game, a decent chunk. What level are your characters? What level are your characters?
4.
Oh, are you out of the first area?
I just like cleared the goblin camp, and I'm going back to the druid.
Oh, you're still in the first area. Okay. Yeah, the first area is that long. I was just wondering. Usually, if I know the level, I'll know where you are.
I've heard people say they spend like 50, 60 hours in Act 1. So, yeah.
That makes sense. That area, like, if you 100% that area, there's a ton of shit there. I mean, like, there's a ton of stuff there. In early access, this is why I spent like 60 hours in early access. There's a ton of stuff there. Like, you go like to the, obviously there's the goblin camp. That's like the main thing with the druid, with the tiefling encampment with the druids. But then, did you go to the swamps?
I went to the outside of the swamp and met the like.
Oh, you met the.
I met. There were like these 2 guys, like, oh, this old lady captured our people, and then my character succeeded on an insight check. It's like, oh, she's lying. I was like, oh yeah, that's a hag. That's a hag right there for sure. Like, that lady's definitely a hag.
So that's
we're gonna have to deal with that.
I mean,
like, I haven't done the quest. I haven't gone into the swamp yet.
Yeah,
got,
I mean, like
the start of the quest.
I guess that's a spoiler, but it's pretty obvious when you get there. But like, no, like that lady's a hag.
That lady's a hag for sure. Like,
so I would get to level 5 and then go in there. Level, like, I've done so in early access, that area's available. I've gone in there at level 3, 4. I recommend going in there at level 5. I also have another recommendation for you. Pick up the spell Silence and use it. Use Silence. Silence is stupidly strong. Use Silence. I pray that you use silence. If you don't use silence, best of luck. Best of luck to you. I've used silence in there against that hag, and boy oh boy was she easy. So use silence. That's my tip.
Oh, you're telling me if you make it so that a spellcaster can't cast spells,
I mean,
they're pretty trivial.
She can
Yeah.
still claw you. Like, her claw still hits pretty hard.
I mean,
but like,
yeah, but
I'm just saying, like, she's really annoying because she goes in there, and if you don't silence, she produces like clones of herself, and those clones attack, and it becomes a problem. And she uses silence. She uses some stuff to like hold person. Like, it's a pain in the ass.
Man.
So she just lock her down.
I mean, I've got like, I'm kind of like, I haven't recruited Karlak yet, the barbarian. I haven't gone up to get her yet.
I didn't even know that was a character. Early access, I don't think that was available. But yeah,
I'm not sure she was in early access. But but I'm like, right now I'm like, my main character's a monk.
Ooh, okay.
And then I'm using Lae'zel as like my frontliner, I guess.
Lae'zel is amazing. Unless you are the frontliner, put Lae'zel in your team. That is my recommendation.
I kind of like, monk is like kind of like pseudo frontliner. You're a dodge tank. You don't have a lot of HP, but you're a dodge tank. You have a deflect missile, so like run range attacks attack you. You can like mitigate some damage there.
Sure thing.
So monk's like, again, you don't have the hit points of a fighter or a barbarian, but
you're a dodge tank if you're able to.
My AC is like 17 or 18, something.
That's
like
really
that.
good.
So
that's really
good.
Yeah, that's really good. Well, who is your team? You have yourself, obviously, and Lae'zel.
I have my monk, Lae'zel. I'm using the wizard, Gale, and then I'm kind of switching between Shadowheart and Will, the warlock. I kind of swap them in it.
I mean, it's nice to have a warlock. It's nice to have a warlock just eldritch blasting. I will say with Shadowheart, Shadowheart's better out of combat. Shadowheart for me is really good out of combat. You just get guidance all the time, and it's nuts.
I like guidance, and then obviously having some healing on your team. But it's like one of those things where you can I could probably use Will for combat most of the time, and then go to the camp, swap Shadowheart in, and just have her heal me out of combat, and then
go back and forth.
And then take her back out.
Of course you can do that strategy.
And then when she runs out of when she runs out of spell slots, she's useless. She does nothing. I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
That's why for her, I salvage as many spells as I can with her, and as soon as I start to run out, I just go rest for the day. Because she's for me, she's out of combat MVP. She's my MVP out of combat because she has all this utility. Tons of utility. And in combat, I mean, there are some spells you can give her that obviously are she can do necrotic touch, right? Something like that.
Yeah, inflict wounds.
Thank you. Inflict wounds.
And guiding bolt, obviously.
And guiding bolt, I don't have that on her. I have her as more of a melee character too.
I mean,
but cleric
spells you can swap in and out.
Exactly.
At your just not in combat, but if you're not in combat, you can swap your spells out as much as you want with cleric. I guess same with wizard. Any spell you have prepared in your book, you can just swap out.
For me, Shadowheart is just really good utility, and her AC right now is pretty solid. So in combat, she can take a hit. I mean, that's her other benefit. She can take a hit, all the damage. Gale is great. Gale's great. I love Gale. The wizard, having the wizard's great. That's always a good choice. And on my team, Lae'zel does damage too. Lae'zel does damage.
God, Battle Master does so much damage. I have her. She has I forget which tripping attack or something that.
Gross.
That thing does so much freaking because I'm using open hand monk, and then Lae'zel has tripping attack, so both of them can knock prone, and I just knock people prone and then just beat the crap out of them. It's just
that's the thing. This is the nice part of this game. As just wrapping this in a bow. The nice part of this game is there's tons of replay value, but also there's tons of various tactics. Much like in D&D, you can do all these different tactics. Like you can do like a just tripping tactics and just like you leveraging tripping and the advantage there. Or you can do like there's some other things you can do. For example, you could have a character like yourself, your own character possibly be a spellcaster and cast things like web and grease, and Gale uses fire. Gale just lights shit on fire. So you web or grease an area and blast it. Like it's just like you could just do like AoE tactics because he won't have fireball that early or anything like that. So you just start spamming these like cool AoE setup attacks. Like web slows them down or gets them stuck. Grease slows them down or they trip to the ground. Light it on fire. Like there's some cool tactics to use in this game.
Gale, I'm also not going like full damage on. I'm kind of having like I picked the divination subclass actually, so that one's like kind of cool. Obviously, you know, most people just pick evocation and go like blaster wizard, but I'm kind of like hybriding with him. Divination is interesting. It's the thing where you get 2 like d20s at the beginning of the day, and you can just like use your reaction to like replace a roll with one of those.
Yeah, those are
at any time. So that's useful.
That is useful.
And then I have him with some utility spells like some like CC stuff like sleep and like Tasha's hideous laughter and like stuff like that. So I have some CC stuff on him.
No, he's great. He can be damaged, but he has great utility. My Gale
well, that's
has
the thing
web.
about wizard. Like wizards are that's the strength of wizard compared to like sorcerer or
even warlock. Warlock is just like spamming Eldritch Blast.
Warlock is that like wizard is really versatile in their spells. You get to like pick more spells. You can swap your spells out at will. Anything in your book, you can scribe any scroll you get. You can scribe into your spell book. Obviously, that costs gold, but like I don't know. I saw a tier list at one point that said like wizard's like the worst class, and I'm like I don't know if I agree. Like the argument was like once he's out of spells, he's useless. Spell slots, he's useless. But like that's the same for cleric. It's like.
Yeah, I mean,
and at least wizard has you have arcane recovery, so like you can recover like a couple of your spell slots a day.
I don't know,
I like wizard. I think wizard's really versatile.
I do too. I agree. I think wizard's great.
Obviously, they're They're really squishy. Keep them out of combat.
Yeah, it's a wizard.
Out of taking damage, but
yeah, it's a wizard. It's a wizard. Like no surprise. I feel like you can do a lot of different things with your team, and that's what I like about this game. Is like. I like Shadowheart for utility. I like Gale for damage / utility. Like he can do both. Lae'zel's going in. She's going in, but she can also handle a few hits. Great frontline. I've never used Asterion.
Astarion.
Thank you. Astarion. I've never used Astarion. But yeah, he's a rogue. He's gonna do damage. He's a rogue. He's gonna do damage.
I'm not using him because my character fills his role like as a monk, also a dex character. I like put like stealth and sleight of hand and that stuff on my character. Like that's just too much overlap between my character and Astarion.
Exactly.
To want to use
and
him.
Will I don't use Will because I'm a warlock, but like Will's a warlock. Like you can just he just Eldritch Blasts. Like that's cool. Like my favorite characters are Shadowheart and Gale. Because Shadowheart has some utility, and I like having utility. Like, Will, for me, doesn't have the same utility. Astarion is just damage. It's just he's damage. Okay? He's a rogue. He's damage. Shadowheart actually has utility, and Gale has utility.
Yeah.
I haven't recruited all the other characters you can get. Apparently, you can get some additional characters that you couldn't get early access that I will be recruiting. Apparently, the Drow in the Goblin encampment. Her name starts with an M. Forgot off the top of my head.
Oh, she dead. I killed everyone.
You killed her.
Yeah.
You killed her. But
funny story. When I fought her, she like teleported in on my monk and Lae'zel, and I had Shadowheart's like Blessing of the Trickster up.
Mm-hmm.
Next to them as well. She like teleported in and I just ganked her. She died so fast. She just like teleported in, attacked me, missed, and then on my turn it was like prone, whack, dead. I was like, oh my god.
I don't know.
She got absolutely nuked.
I don't know
when
the
I fought
exact
her.
specifications, but she is recruitable. You have to side with her and the goblins. But she is recruitable. You can recruit her to the team. Couldn't do that in early access, by the way. So, the Jojo, yeah, insert the kicking wall on the ground meme. Yeah, the Jojo meme. So, you can recruit her apparently, which I am going to side with the goblins, by the way. I just, the evil path in this is just so evil. It's so evil, and I'm like, yeah, we're doing that. You can recruit her, which is interesting. So she's a paladin. I think you probably can see that when you fight her. She's a paladin. So she's recruitable apparently. There's a good number of recruitable characters from what I saw on some of the lists I was looking at a week or so ago.
Well,
but
the
druid is also recruitable, but you can't recruit. You can't recruit her
both.
and the druid, obviously.
Both, yeah.
You can pick one. Which the druid's cool. I mean, druids are cool.
I'm pretty sure the druid guy is like the bear sex meme came from him. So
yeah, it did, because he when you find him, I think in that dungeon,
bear.
He's a bear. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's just like the game has tons of flexibility, and I think it's going to have some great replay value for people who want to try like different classes, and I think it's going to be like that. That is a really nice strength, and the tactics you can do are different. Anyway, game is massive positive reception.
I've heard Act 3 is actually really buggy though.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I've heard Act 3. Apparently there's a memory leak in Act 3, so like
fuck.
you have to restart the game like every couple of hours, or your frames go to absolute shit, and then the game obviously crashes eventually if you play too long.
Well, now I'm glad I'm waiting. They need to fix that ASAP. I'm glad I'm not going fast.
They're working on it. They've done a couple hot fixes already. They said they're working on a big patch with a lot more fixes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, apparently Act 3 is buggy as shit.
Yeah,
so,
I'm glad I'm going slow and not playing much. I'm really glad, because I feel like if I tried to bum rush this and got
but even with that, the game's getting like 9s and 10s across the board, which is like pretty crazy.
That's crazy to me.
Even though Act 3 like is super buggy, it's just weird to me. Like, I don't know. I guess the game is so good that they're just like overlooking it. They're like,
overlooking that really bad aspect. By the way, that's really
care.
bad. That's really bad. But yeah, they're just overlooking it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I look forward to playing more of it. I'll try and play more of it this weekend too. I want to juggle Age of Wonders and that because I want to play Age of Wonders and new updates, and just like that game's really fun. I enjoy it. But Baldur's Gate, man, that game is real fun so far. Obviously, I really enjoy it. Did you get to? There's one more thing I want to mention. There's like a village that you get into, and the goblins are like, you can scare the goblins into not attacking you. There's like a barn, and you hear some noises in the barn. Did you pass that barn by any chance? There's a barn you specifically go past in this village. There's like a windmill in the village. It's like the Blight.
Yeah, I did.
Did you go by the barn?
Did the windmill. I meant to save him. I accidentally
and you
pulled the wrong lever on the gnome and just...
Yeah, you yeet him. Yeah, you yeeted him. Yeah, like, you did that too. Okay.
Oh, that guy's fucking dead.
Yeah, you yeeted him too. Yeah, that happens to the best of us. I've yeeted him before. I yeeted him and then did speak to dead on him. I yeeted him and spoke to him.
I did not mean to yeet that guy, and I yeeted him. I was like, well, I'm not gonna reload that.
Yeah, I mean, it's too funny to yeet him. It's so funny when you just yeet him across the map. But yeah, there's a barn in there. And there's a barn where there's some weird noises going on. You gotta go by this barn if you haven't.
I missed the barn.
You gotta find it.
I had an encounter with 3 ogres in that village.
There's a section of the village near like a bridge that's been destroyed that you can jump across. Mm-hmm. There is a barn there, and there's like some noises coming from the barn. Go by the barn. The barn is real fun. The barn is so fun. Go by the barn and just enjoy the moment at the barn. It's great. Okay. I did pull up one thing because I want to take a quick, fast look. I think there was like a port of Red Dead Redemption or something like that. Because it says this came out and it got like a 7.8. I'm just looking at really fast. Yeah, that's not great for Red Dead Redemption to the Switch and PS4 here. I just don't know what it was. I'll have to look at that later. Okay. The last thing that I have on the list here is from the Pokemon Presents. So this was not this week or anything like that. This was a couple weeks ago. We had a Pokemon Presents event, and they talked about some things regarding some animated series. Detective Pikachu coming back. They had some trailer. They had some other things for, like, again, animated series. They talked about Pokemon Go, which obviously, nobody cares about. They have Mew and Mewtwo coming to Scarlet and Violet. So Mew is a code you can use in the game for a mystery gift. Mewtwo will be a raid, which seems fun. That's always fun. And I've kept up with every raid, by the way. Every raid of a new Pokemon, I have kept up with. And Kuru and I have done every single one. We have not missed one.
Wow.
So we do every single one. So I will be doing this Mewtwo one. I don't know when the Mewtwo raid is. I gotta ask Kuru when that's going to be. Animated web series and Scarlet and Violet DLC. So this one I do want to play because there is a certain moment I want to play. There's a moment in here that of course is a huge meme. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you, my gorgeous legendary Mon? Show me the legendary.
Raikou, the frickin' Raikou.
Show me the Raikou. Show me the greatest Pokemon known to man. Known to the existence of the people. Where is it? Where is it? Show me Raikou. Did I miss it? No. Oh, there it is. We see it. Okay, Game Freak. I want to talk to Game Freak right now. I'm going to look straight at you, Game Freak. Game Freak. When you come up with a new Pokemon concept that's like an alternate version of the Mon, you realize you can do more than just elongate the neck, right? You realize there's other things you can do.
They did this in Arceus as well. There was a Pokemon they did like the same thing to. I don't remember which one it was.
So this happened in the Alolan region with Executor. They just elongated its neck.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's a tree. It's a tree. It's the palm tree. In Arceus, they just elongated the neck of something. Here, they're elongated. Game Freak, you can do something different. You know that, right? Like, you don't have to give it a long neck every time. Like, I don't understand. Why do you just make the neck longer? They're like, what are we gonna do? Let's just make its neck really long. You can do other things. You know that, right? It was really funny with Executor. Executor was hilarious. That was hilarious, and that worked.
That one made sense, and it looked like a palm tree, right?
Exactly.
So that one kind of made sense, and it's fine.
Is this just a dinosaur? Is this supposed to be like a dinosaur? The Brontosaurus or whatever?
It doesn't look like a dinosaur.
It doesn't. It looks ridiculous. It looks ridiculous, obviously, and I'm just like, what? What are we doing here?
I mean, Game Freak's phoning it in as usual.
Think you can do other things. Also, I don't know if the other ones like Entei and Suicune are here.
I think there was a Suicune one.
There's a Suicune one that
I don't think Entei was there. I think after Raikou. I think
that's not it. It's something else. I have no idea. In any case, I don't know. I'm like, the DLC's coming out. Obviously, like it's the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. Wait, what? Oh yeah, this is the teal. This is the teal mask.
Teal mask.
Yeah, this is the teal mask. So, I mean, there's gonna be more Mons. Apparently, there's a new version of the apple, which I forgot its name, but there's like an apple Mon. There's Appleton, and there's Flapple, but there's there's a third one. There's now a third version of the apple that can evolve, and I don't know, like, I don't understand it. There it is. It's like a caramel apple, which you know what? It's new. I'll give them credit. It's new. I'll give them credit. It's new mon. So
it's better than the Raikou with the long neck.
it's better than the Raikou with the long neck. I kind of like the caramel apple, but it's just I don't know. I don't really have much else to say. I think that I'm sure the DLC is going to be pretty fun. Like, I'm sure, I don't know how much content's really going to be in it. I'm sure it's going to be like $40. You know, like the other DLCs for Sword and Shield. I feel like, you know, for someone like me, I've been doing all the raids. I feel like I'll get it when it comes out next month. But I really do hope that it's... I'm really hoping that there's something that's added that can be just a little bit more than... My expectation is like, we'll get a little story, we'll get some new mons, and that's about it. Maybe there'll be something Pokemon Tower, or something like a challenge run you can do. Like, I don't know, like I'm like trying to think of things that would be kind of interesting to do. And some of them were like when you could challenge like the Pokemon Tower thing in Emerald. I don't remember what the Battle Tower.
Yeah, Battle Frontier.
Maybe Battle Frontier. Maybe I'll get a Battle Frontier. That'd be interesting. I don't know how much I'd play it, but it would be interesting to like play through stuff like that. I just expect like a little story, new mons that you can get capture in the game, and obviously we'll have a little bit of that story to work through. And I don't know if there's going to be any new areas to explore specifically, but maybe there'll be something like Battle Tower. Maybe. They would have shown it here, obviously, if that was the case, but... Oh, look, you can fly. You can fly through these... Wait. Actually, I have to go back. Is that flying through rings?
Superman 64.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We don't want to fly through rings. Why do people keep going like, let's just have them fly through rings?
I'm sure it'll be great.
There's
like
some,
all
like,
the other like all the other mini games. And
okay, hold on. I'm sorry, I did not even notice this. This dude's got a frying pan and he's like doing the flipping of the Pokeball in the frying pan. This is just this is the silliest thing I think I've seen in Pokemon besides the Raikou.
Go back to Food Wars, dog.
What is going on with this guy and his frying pan? Why is he carrying a frying pan into the Pokemon battles? What is happening with the frying pan? The frying pan's killing me right now. I don't know if that's worse. I think the Raikou's still worse, but anyway. Spoon, any thoughts on anything they showed in the Pokemon Presents that you wanted to touch on? I think the DLC was the only thing I really wanted to talk about. All the other stuff, like with the shows, I don't watch the shows. Detective Pikachu sounds great. I don't really like deal with a lot of stuff. Pokemon Go put me to sleep.
Yeah, I didn't actually watch like the full presentation. I just kind of looked at the overview and saw the Raikou memes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Twitter, by the way, we didn't have this on the doc, but I do want to talk about it.
Okay, go ahead.
Apparently, he's gonna remove the ability to block users on Twitter.
Yeah, you can't do that. He's not gonna be able to do that. You need a feature to block. You do just need that. Like,
people are theorizing it's because people are blocking the ad accounts.
I would. I mean, like, you can't. Okay. So he could do that. However, there is a certain set of rules that you need to adhere to various other platforms. For example, iOS, Google Store. You have to adhere to the rules of those storefronts that you are putting in your app onto. You're putting onto those marketplaces. You have to follow those rules. For example, remember what was it called that got removed from those stores because There was just no moderation. It was one of those other social media apps. I don't remember the name of it anymore. One of those like
true social.
Yeah, one of the ones where like they had Nazis on it. And they're just like not moderating them. You have to moderate. You have to have a certain level of moderation on your platform. Otherwise, Apple and Google will just say, hey, you're not moderating your thing. We're going to remove it. That's what they do. I do believe you have to have a certain set of features, like being able to block people. You do need that kind of stuff. And just in general, your social media platform should have functionality to block people. It just should have that. You don't
want to let people just harass.
You don't want to just let somebody free reign harass you. You would want to block that and be like, stop harassing me. And he's like, I'll keep it for DMs. That's not the problem. You can turn DMs off. That's not a problem. The problem is if I make a tweet, for example, and I'm just like, maybe I'm making a tweet about my live stream. I don't want to just have people come into my comments of these tweets and just start being racist, for example. I want to be able to block that. There's like mute and block, I believe, on Twitter. And I don't remember what the differences are exactly, but yeah, I mean, he's going to try, but somebody is going to tell him you can't do that.
Yeah.
Somebody
probably
who is like, probably it's not going to be within his own company. It's going to be like a lawyer. His legal team is going to tell him, you can't do that. Don't do that. And he won't do it. His legal team will tell him that. It won't be somebody in the company. It'll be like a legal person. His legal team will tell him, please don't do that. Like, you have to follow a certain set of rules. This is one of them. If you remove this, you will be removed from these stores. At some, like, they're just going to do that. So I really do think that this is one of those cases where Elon's just saying stuff.
Yeah.
And I just ignore it. I think I blocked him just in general anyway. I just blocked him.
Yeah.
Maybe he's tired of people blocking him and he's like, how come so many people block me? This is unfair. I'm going to just remove blocking. That's like a childish response. That's just a child's response if that's the case, but well, he is a child.
I mean, yeah, again, he changed the name of the app to X,
which is stupid. I'm still calling it Twitter. Nobody calls it X. Nobody calls it that.
It's Twitter. Nobody calls it that.
Nobody calls it that. And whoever calls it that is like a weird fanboy of his.
It's a bad name. It's a bad name for.
It's not a good name for your social media.
Like, how is X a good name for a social media app? Like, that's stupid.
I've heard that theory. I don't think that's truly the theory, but I bet there is some motivation that he's like, too many people are blocking me. Like, the too many people are blocking me, so I'm gonna just remove this. There's probably some underlying motivation there. He doesn't want people blocking him because he's like, he owns Twitter. He's like, nobody should block me. But I don't know. Anyway, Twitter. Yeah, I mean, like, look, when Elon says stuff and with Twitter, like, I just ignore him. It's not worth it for me to listen to his stuff and then see all his comments of his fanboys like, promote my crypto coin. Good call, Elon. Oh my god, so amazing. Like, guys, go to the park, man. Like, dude, go to the park. Go to the mall. Like, go out. Get out of your house for a minute. Just get out of your house. Go touch grass, please. Stop being weird. Like, stop protecting him. Why are you protecting him? There was one comment I saw on Twitter about it, and it was like, basically it was defense comment of like, well, it's his company, he can do whatever he wants, blah, 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 blah. And somebody's like, man, I wish you guys would put this much energy into things that actually matter instead of defending a billionaire. And that's kind of how I feel. There are so many people that put so much energy into defending this guy. And I'm like, could you put that energy into someplace that actually is going to matter instead of defending this guy?
Into something constructive instead of... Yeah.
Into something that actually matters. That is my exact thought process with this kind of thing. Put that energy that you are defending Elon Musk into something else. I really wish they would, but they just love defending their their
Supreme
supreme
cult
leader.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let me switch back off of Pokemon. All right. We talked about Age of Wonders, actually, and we talked about Baldur's Gate.
Yep.
There's really not much else to say there. I want to talk about one more thing, and then obviously we can just you obviously have, maybe if you have things to say. We talked about this before the podcast, and I just want to share this really quickly. So for a long time, and so people here know, I did a lot of like card game stuff, and I used to open cards on stream and all that stuff. Actually, it was funny because when we got this, so there's a new card game for Disney. It's all Disney characters. It's called Disney Lorcana. Kate actually was telling me, she's like, "Are you gonna open this on your live stream?" I was like, "Not really. No, this is just for you, us to look at." So there's a new Disney card game, and they have like Disney cards. Obviously, it's all the Disney characters. Blah blah blah. Hard to see that, but it's got cool art. So this card game came out yesterday, and I've had my eye on it for a while. It's a game you can play. It's a tradable card game that you can play, and it came out yesterday. I told you about how expensive it was to get these cards at your local shop, but it was really cool to see. I love the art of the cards. I'm not here to tell you to try it or anything like that or promote it. I just thought it was interesting. This game has been talked about. It was introduced like a year ago, I think, and then it originally was supposed to come out September 1st, and I checked their social media like 2 days ago, and it was like, "Hey, tomorrow we're gonna release the cards." So I went to the game store and bought it. So this little new card game from Disney. I like card games. I don't collect cards as much anymore, but this was like kind of a cool thing that I could do with Kate, and like open Disney cards with Kate, because Kate likes Disney cards. So that was my only other topic, was I found this Disney card game called Disney Lorcana. And I have no other opinion besides I like the art of the cards. And it's expensive to buy. It is really expensive. A starter deck costs $30. I couldn't buy individual booster packs for whatever reason. The store wasn't selling them. And the gift box, I told